In March 2009, I was in New York City and I was standing in line to enter a restaurant with my mother when this large man just cut right in front of us and entered this restaurant no problem, no reservations, no anything. You know, he butted the line in front of a kid. This was 7 years ago. I was a child. He just stepped right in front of me and he seemed to have no problem with that. Right now at about 3:40 a.m. local time, Wednesday, November 9th, 2016, that same man has just become the President of the United States. It is 11:30 a.m. Hillary Clinton is expected to make her concession speech right now. And throughout this election, I was not with her throughout the election, I guess you could say. To be clear, I certainly would never have voted Trump if I was American. I did not expect him to win the presidency, and I didn't want this outcome. I feel some genuine disappointment for my friends who live in America. The only silver lining I can see in all of this right now is that I have woken up and the world has not burned around me. It's now about 2 in the afternoon. I waited around for a couple hours to watch Hillary's concession speech. I watched it and I haven't had a lot of time to read any articles or watch the news or anything like that, but I learned that Hillary won the popular vote in America. I think this just harks back to something that I said yesterday in the vlog. Basically, just because I don't think the two-party system in America works, and I don't think it's a true democracy. As a young Canadian citizen, I have not yet found myself in a true need to educate myself on the American electoral process. But to me, in my kind of unknowledgeable way, it seems as though there's a discrepancy in the democratic system in America, where one candidate for president can win the popular vote, but the other candidate can win the presidency due to electoral votes. I've seen a lot of things posted online about the DNC being rigged in favor of Hillary Clinton's nomination. And I think that was the greatest error in America in this election. I think it is now more obvious than ever that the American citizens are just fed up with the government and the process. And I think this whole situation could have been avoided in the primaries. I believe the statistic I heard is that 7 out of 10 Americans do not like the government, the governmental processes. And I think that's the reason why Donald Trump won over Hillary Clinton. So yes, I think this goes back to the primaries. I think in some parallel universe somewhere, Bernie Sanders is sitting in the White House. On this day, the day that Donald Trump became president of the United States, I'm left asking myself quite a large existential question. And that question is, what can I do to help? I am not an American citizen. I am a Canadian millennial. So how can I help the nearly 50 million Americans that did not want this man in office? I think that everyone has a voice. It doesn't matter your color, creed, religious beliefs, sexual orientation. I think everyone has a voice. The way in which I can use my voice, the way I have always used my voice, is through my camera. I am no political scientist. I am no economist. But my naive voice urges all Americans, if they are affected by the presidency, then I urge you all to come to Canada. Last night, Canada's immigration website crashed. I assume due to site overload. I personally don't see any problem with having American citizens move to Canada. I mean, think about it. Why would you want to pay taxes to Donald Trump when you could pay taxes to a beautiful man like Justin Trudeau? If you feel like Canada is the right place for you, this video is for you. Welcome to Halifax, Nova Scotia.
This undisputed capital of Atlantic Canada is a large peninsula city with a small town atmosphere. Halifax is the perfect city for people who are into history, architecture, art, the outdoors, or those fleeing their nation from crazy megalomaniacs. There is so much that could be said about Halifax, but the most important feature is having the most bars per capita out of any Canadian city. So, why choose Halifax? 'Cause why the hell not?